There's just so
We're
many
going
jokes.
down to Browntown. Crashed into his car so hard that the car jolted forward even though the e-brake was on. And they believed that it could have been from a red fox, but they couldn't be sure. I don't know why they couldn't be sure. But anyways, that's
Isn't that
just
like
what that
their
said.
whole function?
That's like their thing. But anyway, and this was because many of them had reported seeing a 7-foot tall creature with red eyes in the area, and they thought it might be responsible for what happened. Apparently something like
I love this.
50,000 people came to the town that summer looking for
wow.
the lizard man. I killed the lizard man! And a woman was even beheaded there, and there were like no leads.
Oh my God.
What?
Yeah, they find the man later. They're like, you killed this woman. He's like, I've never seen that woman. And they're like, you have blood on you, and here's the axe.
Dude.
I definitely think that something happened to him. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coast Files, your podcast for ocean mysteries and true crime. I'm Chantel.
I'm Lindsay.
And I'm Megan.
Hello, ladies. on this-
Hello.
Well, this comes out in October,
Scorching.
but it is a hot September day for us. Hot and rainy.
Disgusting.
It's pretty
Oh,
muggy
the worst.
here too. I think it's gonna
Yeah.
rain soon. It might break it a little bit, but it's supposed to be hot for the rest of the
Lindsay,
week.
are you wearing a mock neck long sleeve shirt?
I'm married.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Because from where you are, I just saw the mock neck and I'm like, if those sleeves go down to your wrist, I don't know how you're not, passed
No,
out.
no,
Okay.
it's like a dress. It's like a t-shirt. It's like wearing a t-shirt dress.
Okay. Also,
So,
you
acceptable.
match my cup, I think.
Ooh.
I do, and you match my cup.
Ah!
That's so cute.
For those listening, both of our
Stanley cups.
Stanley cups match each other. So mine is purple. Megan's shirt is purple.
even
you get
notice.
You get the.
Nobody
That's
bought
okay.
their favorite color, but they bought each other's favorite colors. Well, actually,
Yes.
Lindsay has mine.
Yes, I have
Megan
Chantal's
has
favorite color. So we need to get
Lindsay's, and
Chantal pink.
I need to get a pink one, so I have Megan's favorite color.
Or blue, because blue is also.
Yes.
I like all the colors equally.
I know.
She likes the rainbow.
Except for yellow. But in some situations. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about.
Yes.
You know, it's our podcast. We're here to talk about whatever we want to talk about.
That's true.
so-
If you're here, you know what is going to happen.
Well,
like, you know
yeah.
what this is.
I did my color
Oh.
analysis to myself once, and yellow was definitely not my color. Neither
Nor
is
mine.
I could, yeah, I don't think it's any of
Orange,
ours.
red.
really.
However, you're wearing oranges and browns and you look good. I guess though orange and brown are
Yeah.
different.
That's not the same as yellow. Those are different
no,
colors
but like
than
they're
yellow.
next door.
I
They're
mean,
neighbors.
I'm not sure what colors your colors are, but you do look at a lot of colors. But there's probably some colors that you look even more amazing in. Is basically what it is.
It's a hard life, guys.
I
It's
feel
hard
like we
life.
all look good in jewel tones, like fall jewel,
Yeah.
like wine,
Mm.
emerald green. Whenever I wear this one certain green shirt at work, everyone loses their minds. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, I get
thank
that
you.
with one of my green sweaters, and I'm like, guys,
Aw. Yeah, I can see that.
okay.
You
This
definitely
is-
a green. I saw a girl today. She was all dressed in green, and I was like, green people and
I
purple people are the
love it.
same. They're
Yeah.
either like they go all in and they wear it all, and it's like she was wearing green tights, green overalls, green shirt. She had green hairpins,
Different,
in,
different
like,
shades.
different
It's like,
shades. And
you
it
should have
all
asked
went
her what her
together so
favorite
well.
color is.
I should have. You're right. She probably never gets that.
Yeah, let's try to be original and think about something different. That's called monochromatic, right? Which means the same color.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Love that. There's sometimes that I used to wear this pink outfit, all different shades and different families, but it was nice. It was a vibe.
Mhm.
I love it. I love pink
Yeah.
too.
I do
Pink,
like that
blue,
too.
purples, greens. Those are my core colors.
Hot take.
Yeah.
I
Hot
love
take.
most of the rainbow.
Well, I shall get us started today since we're sneaking in some extra recording so that I can go on a trip with my mom and not have to worry about
Yeah.
this. So,
So happy for you.
Right.
so
That'll be
today we're
fun.
gonna talk about a cryptid,
Ooh.
and I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna
Oh.
start the story.
Okay.
So, it starts during the wee hours on June 29th, 1988. Exact date is kind of difficult to find, but this was the date that kind of seemed to be the one I found the most.
Okay.
So this seemed the most accurate. So it was around 2 a.m. and Chris Davis was on his way home from his job at McDonald's when he got a flat tire. So he pulled over on Browntown Road near Scape or Swamp. These are
Sorry, if it
real. These are real
rhymes.
names.
I know, but like Browntown. Sorry.
Browntown.
There's just so
We're
many
going
jokes.
down to Browntown.
Okay, maybe there's just the one joke, but still.
Yeah.
So he pulled over to change this flat tire that he got, and he attempted to do this quickly as possible because, first of all, it's dark. Second of all, there were a lot of bugs because he's around a swamp.
Yeah,
And
no.
third, and potentially the most important, he had some fish fillets in the car that were getting cold.
Oh my God.
So-
Wait, fish fillets?
I've
Of
never
all
had the
things you
fish
could-
fillet sandwich.
Right?
Listen,
It's actually pretty good.
I love fried fish, but at McDonald's, that is the least thing.
It's a good crappie when you want it, though, with the tartar sauce,
know.
like extra tartar sauce on it.
Maybe I'll try it
It's
one day,
tartar
but
sauce.
it's never called to me. I do miss that McDonald's
some-
pizza, but
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I
R.I.P..
can't even, we don't have time to get into the McDonald's pizza.
okay,
No.
we'll
God,
talk
it's
about it
Anyways,
another time.
he wants to get home. He wants to eat his fish fillets, okay? So just as he is finishing up and placing his tools back in his trunk, he hears something behind him in the dark, which, terrifying. It's dark out, and the way the hair on my neck would just stand up entirely.
Also, middle of
Chris-
nowhere, like middle of the night, swamp,
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brown
Fi-
Town.
fish fillet, Brown Town.
Not okay. So Chris turns around and sees something about 30 yards away in a field, and it appeared to be moving in his direction with its arms swinging wildly at its sides. And in an
Huh?
article in the Item newspaper, he described the thing as green, wet-like, scaly, about 7 feet tall, with glowing red eyes, and had 3 fingers on each hand.
Sound my
Chris-
ex-boyfriend.
Chris noted that the creature was getting closer and closer by the second and running so fast that it was kicking up dust behind it. A
What the
panicked
fuck?
Chris dove into the driver's side of the car, and he stated that when he got in and shut the door, suddenly he could see the creature in the rearview mirror, and it crashed into his car so hard that the car jolted forward even though the e-brake was on. As he started the car, he saw the creature at the window from the neck down, clawing at the door handle. Chris floored it and saw the creature in the rearview mirror again. Then suddenly he heard it get on the roof with a big grunt, and he saw long
bet.
black fingernails clawing at the windshield and curling around the roof. So he started to swerve in hopes of shaking the thing off, and eventually he no longer heard it or saw it clawing at the roof. But at this point, Chris was still terrified and kept the pedal to the metal, and
Smart.
he stated that he was truly fearing for his life. When Chris finally arrived home, he blew his horn frantically before pulling into the driveway, and he jumped out of the car without even turning it off and ran into the house because he wasn't certain if the thing was still on the roof or not. His father came out and they both assessed the car. The driver's side mirror was bent and twisted, and there were scratches and dents all over the car and what appeared to be bite marks.
What the
Oh,
hell?
wow.
This is the start of the story of Lizard Man of Scape or Swamp.
Ooh.
Lizard man.
The
Do you think
lizard
he was
man.
after those fish fillets?
I knew
Are
it.
you gonna get to it? Okay.
The fish fillets were gone.
Did the fish
The
fillets come
end.
back into the story?
Okay. So that was a true tale.
Yeah, this is like
Okay.
an actual event. So I'm gonna get into all of this and how it
Okay.
all ties together. So that night, Chris relayed all this to his father, Tommy, and what he had encountered. And while his father believed Chris because there was this weird damage on the car, and Chris was obviously shaken. Like there was fear and
Mhm.
terror in Chris's voice. And Tommy, though, decided that they shouldn't go to the police because he was kind of like, this story's too weird. No one's gonna believe us. So like, let's just kind of leave it alone. So, fast forward to July 14th, 1988. I was just a 5-day-old chubby little butterball. And
so cute.
Lee County Sheriff's Office received a very bizarre call from the Way family. They stated that they woke up and noted that their car had appeared to be mauled in the middle of the night. So their 1985 Ford LTD was sitting under the metal carport and had extensive damage on the hood, side molding, and the doors. There appeared to be scratches, footprints, and bite marks, as well as chewed wiring. So
My cat also chews wire, so this is checking
Yeah.
out.
when the deputies arrived over to see what had happened, they were greeted by Tom and Mary Way and their daughter Shirley, and the car had in fact been torn up. The chrome molding was torn away from the fenders, the sides were all scratched and dented, the hood ornament was broken, and the antenna was bent, and the wires had been torn from the motor and had been ripped out from underneath.
Oh my God.
Okay.
So the deputies assumed this was damage from an animal, but it seemed odd since there was no food or anything in the car that the animals would likely have been attracted to
Like
in the
no fish
area.
fillets,
No
yeah.
fish fillets. So they just thought this was
Hmm.
kind of weird that an animal would come and just randomly attack a sitting
A
car.
car.
Yeah.
Right.
But they did find animal-like footprints and tufts of red hair on the car. So
Red hair.
Mhm. So the deputies
Lizard
decided that
man.
this was above their pay grade, so they called in Sheriff Liston Truesdale, and
I thought you were gonna say
he
like they called in a scientist. That's
no,
so
not yet. He is actually pretty integral to the story, and he took this all very seriously right up until he retired in 1993. Like he was on the case of Lizard Man from 1988 to
I assume
1993.
he didn't know it was Lizard Man when he first got the call.
Not
No.
yet. But
Okay.
actually even the book that I got the majority of this information from, it's called Lizard Man: The True Story of the Bishopville Monster by Lyle Blackburn. Lyle went with his, I don't know if it's friend or who she was, Cindy. And like he met up
Girlfriend?
with Truesdale and like he sat down. There
Cool.
was a part where he was
Okay.
taking him around town to other places. He was like playing guitar with some like random locals
This
and everything.
this
Like
sounds amazing.
it was a
Okay.
pretty good read. So after Truesdale talked to the family, he felt that they were being truthful with the events. And I mean, he had been elected sheriff for 12 years now, so he was pretty
could
good
spot a
at
lie.
reading people. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. He knew when people were lying. So he gathers the evidence and he has the South Carolina Department of Wildlife and Marine Resources take a look at the hair fibers, and they believed that it could have been from a red fox, but they couldn't be sure. I don't know why they couldn't be sure, but anyways,
Mhm.
that's
Isn't that
just
like
what that
their
said.
whole function?
That's like their thing. But anyway,
Wait, hold on. This is in the mid or late 80s. Maybe like DNA was still not really.
maybe. And we're also like,
Okay.
we're in South Carolina. I don't know how much
And-
resources they actually had besides like,
Right, just
yeah,
because
that looks like a
maybe
fox.
If the technology's there, they don't have it. So
Mhm.
And also too, there's no like human life
right,
that
there's
was taken, so it's
yeah,
like
it's
the
like a murder
urgency is not
case.
really. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
As for the footprints, there were smaller ones near the car that they say were likely a fox. And there were also some larger ones about 25 yards away heading towards the swamp that could have been from either, they said, a bipedal animal or a quadruped. So possibly a bear, because they do have black bears in this
So
area.
possibly any animal.
Possibly an animal.
Because
Because
all of us
most
walk
of us
on
are 2 or 4.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can actually go from to the first,
the
the
best
photo
cover
there.
photo ever.
I
You can go
know.
to the next one. It's so that is the photo of the car and the damage.
Damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it was kind of weird. So it was
Also, the top is really dirty.
so that's
Or is that
the
the
tracks
damage?
of the animal
Yeah.
that was like walking on it as well.
Mm.
So it's very clear that the tracks on the car were from a fox, but not everyone could agree about the larger ones that they found around the area. And one man noted saying that the direction of the steps were straight and more like a human would walk than an animal. So
Hmm.
the extensive damage on the car seemed to be more than a small fox could do as well.
Also, I can't
And-
imagine a fox chewing on metal, trying to pry
Well,
off trim and stuff.
One thing that there was this one theory that maybe something larger did the bulk of the damage, even like a regular human vandal, and then like a fox came along and was like, "What's this?" and just started like chewing on things. That was one kind of idea that was flown out there, but needless to say, people were just like perplexed by this. They had no idea what happened to this car. And especially where it's like
Mhm.
nobody really woke up and heard anything. They woke up and they were like, what the fuck happened to
Huh.
our car?
That's
Right.
interesting too. So they came out like to start their day, and
Yeah.
they saw the car in the state.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So obviously by now with all the commotion, first the deputies and then the sheriff and then like bring in some marine resources and all of this, people started to gather around. So the deputies were talking to people trying to see if they had seen anything, and the locals began to tell them to consider a strange creature. And this was because many of them had reported seeing a 7-foot tall creature with red eyes in the area, and they thought it might be responsible for what happened. So the cops started to take down the names and information of anyone who thought they had seen this creature before. And before long, the local newspaper had gotten a hold of the story and started to get it out there. So the sheriff's office released a statement that anyone that had information about the creature or about the car that had been vandaled, that they should come forward and that no one would get in trouble. Like, if you know anything, we just want to know. You're going to be fine. But of course, still no one wanted to talk. So
Well, and also people
It
like
didn't-
you're gonna think I'm crazy, or it's
Yeah.
like seems like a
Right.
UFO sighting.
So until July 16th, 1988, when Tommy Davis brought in his son Chris to tell his story at this
Good.
time.
Hmm.
So Chris had apparently been dealing with this since it happened and had been pretty scared ever since the incident. And he stated that he was no longer traveling at night by himself and was just in general more cautious around the swamp. Now this swamp, like when I think of a swamp, I think of like a small swamp. This area is 250 kilometers.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
That's
like
like
this
a
is a huge
gross lake.
huge
Yeah,
like area. Like the
I
swamp kind of
know.
like goes through. It's a
At what
park.
point
There's
does
like
it
woods
graduate
and
from
rivers and
swamp to?
Yeah, they're
I don't
well,
know.
and I
Well,
mean,
it's
okay,
like
I
it's like
guess this
it's like the whole area. So there's like like swampy areas that are happening
Yeah.
all
marshy.
in this
Okay.
like radius.
There
Yeah.
has to be like a how do you tell a pond to a swamp to a lake? There has to be
Yeah, and there's like
criteria.
a river running through too. So
Hmm.
anyways, so Chris goes in and he talks to Truesdale and he took him obviously very seriously and he didn't make him or his father feel like they were foolish in any way. So the next photo is actually of Chris and Truesdale. Truesdale stated that Tommy, his
Aw.
father, was well known in the community and highly respected, and he had no reason to believe that Chris was not telling the truth either.
No, and
Like,
why would you want to
mhm.
lie about that unless you had maybe previous for like you wanted attention or whatever?
And it
If
didn't
Right.
you're
seem like
yeah,
Chris had any background of being like a bad kid or getting in trouble or anything like that. So like they just they believed him. So while he was in the office, Truesdale asked if Chris would be able to draw him a photo of what he saw. So you can go to the next photo.
oh no, I'm worried.
I'm sure
So
in hindsight,
This is why the arts in school are so important.
I'm sure Chris wishes that he took a bit more time. I think it's so cute. Oh, Lindsay has
I
warnings.
just
Oh no, I'm sure it's fine.
yeah, it just like on my monitor just like
Well, you look great.
unplugged.
Yeah. That's okay. Shit happens. Here we are.
Make me
Yes.
real big.
Make me big again. Would you fuck
I want to be a real boy,
Papa.
Papa.
I
Need your soul, Papa. So disturbing.
I'm gonna make you
Lindsay,
guys
if you
small
ha-
again. This is too
if
much.
you haven't seen it,
Have you seen that meat cannon of Pinocchio?
I don't think maybe.
boy, Papa. She's
His
like, where's that
voice is-
damn fairy?
Is that like an old YouTube video?
no, I'm gonna find it and
You're
send it
so-
to you.
I think it's like
You're
a,
gonna
I think
hate
it's like
it.
a Cartoon Network thing.
like a no, it can't be.
I think Meat Cannon is Meat Cannon Cartoon Network.
Papa.
No,
I
Meat Cannon's
want to
not
be a
Cartoon
real boy,
Network. It's
Papa.
an American YouTuber. Oh,
I fucking
Oh.
knew it was not on TV. There's no way.
So it is just a
That's why I'm
YouTuber.
like, I feel like it sounds like a YouTube thing. I was
yeah,
You are-
Lindsay, you're
you
gonna
are
hate
correct.
it. I can't wait to show it to you.
Yeah.
okay. Gonna get us back into
And
it.
we're back.
And we're
Yeah, maybe,
back.
maybe read your last line so that you.
Yeah, basically, okay, where am I? So this is Chris's photo, and I'm pretty sure in hindsight he wishes that he took a bit more time with the drawing. But
Mhm.
this is the photo, and
Or just admit you don't know. Drawing's not your forte,
it
and
could,
have
yeah. When he said,
someone assist.
"Could you draw this for me?" You could have said no, but that's okay. Let's
He tried
Yes.
a little.
I just
he
have
tried.
so many comments,
yeah.
and they're all constructive. They're all constructive. Like I love to draw, and I've been like art was huge for me in school, and I just want to help him so badly.
The thing is that this is
Um,
probably better than what I could have done because I'm not the drawer of the family.
I can help you.
Yeah, I could
It
have done
involves
better.
yeah, it
But-
involves a lot of circles and lines and
Mhm,
symmetry
yeah.
and just I just anyway, you just need to look at this
Yeah.
photo
Go
if you're listening
go
to
look
this.
at our website, at our Instagram. It's all up there. You'll see it. But
I mean, his signature is very
yes.
neat.
I forgot he was like,
very,
this
very
is
cute.
the like what does it say? It's his signature, and he's like, this is the photo of the lizard man or something on it.
This is the
What-
picture of
the
what
picture of
attacked
what?
Christopher
Yeah,
Davis.
he's like talking
Christopher
about himself
Davis.
in a third person and then
Aw.
signs it. Like it's
God.
pretty funny and pretty cute. I won't lie.
Can't stop.
The claw
I can't
hands are
stop
a little
looking at it.
creepy. I'll give him that.
They're yeah.
And his feet. Don't get me started on the feet.
They're a little
Right,
more
the no feet?
Squidward than like lizard man.
there is no. Yeah.
Oh, there is no feet. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no feet at all. No. No. He just stopped there. But to be fair, maybe he didn't see the feet because
Listen, feet and hands are hard to draw.
Yeah, they are.
So
They are.
Yeah.
Could you imagine he would just drew like human feet at the bottom?
and they were perfect,
The
perfectly
weird
shaded.
claw
I'm
hands
like,
are
"What?
probably
Do you
He's
draw a
really
lot
good
of
at
feet?
feet.
That's like probably the best part of the drawing, really, because
Yeah,
they
Is
are
the
creepy.
just open-ended nothing of where the
The
feet
claw
should be.
hands.
the claw hands, yeah.
The
Yeah.
claw hands. You know what? It's giving salad fingers.
A little
It
bit,
is.
yes, yeah. Okay,
I
so
hate that I said that.
this photo and Chris's story helped to put the media into an absolute frenzy, and his interactions with Lizard Man that night are highly regarded as the first. Chris and his family were overwhelmed with requests for interviews. It was reported in one area that I read that they said that he was doing over like 100 interviews a week, which I'm sure is an exaggeration because like when do you sleep then? Like that doesn't
He
seem.
works at McDonald's. He has a busy
Is it
life.
like one question each, guys?
Yeah.
Then-
His drawing went very public and he became almost a sensation of the community. His story was on the radio, in newspapers, local papers, on the news, in college papers. It even reached Korean news.
I'm
Oh, the
tempted to
Koreans would love
Like
this.
it went everywhere.
And this is in the late 80s. Like, that's
And like
insane.
Yeah.
like serious, like people were
Yes, no,
taking
like
it very
people like
serious.
it was like serious
Well,
and
I'm
then
sure a
some were like
little- a little
tongue in cheek
cheeky.
and then like yeah, and one radio station had actually said that they would pay $1 million reward to anyone who could bring the lizard to them alive.
This is great marketing.
So this brought a lot of people to the area though, and a lot of them were hunters. Bringing
Okay.
guns, not exactly ideal, even though they said they wanted it alive, they wanted protection.
I take it back. I take it
So-
back.
Yeah.
During all this madness, Truesdale was still trying to find the actual truth, though, of what happened to this car, what happened to Chris, what was going on, and he was encouraging people to come forward with more information. And he also had an influx of calls from the press and probably a lot of hoaxers, too.
Yeah. Oh, I would say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on July 24th, 1988, two teens, Rodney Nolf and Shane Stokes, ran frantically into the sheriff's station, visibly upset and insisting that they saw the lizard man while on Highway 15 driving with their girlfriends. They described it as a large muscular animal walking on two legs, and they only saw it for a few seconds before it jumped a fence and ran into the woods. A few hours later, a call from Browntown residents said that they heard unusual howls coming from the woods. So this caused Deputy Atkinson to drive over because of the previous sighting. Like normally a strange sound in the woods, like when you live in that area, is like probably not taken. Like, okay, you heard a strange howl.
Who hasn't howled at the moon?
Yeah,
you
so
know?
but because the two happened so close to one another, they were like,
Yeah.
we should go check this out. So Atkinson, along with another deputy, were driving along and they see this discarded barrel drum that looked like it had been crushed on the side of the highway. You can see that at the next photo. And there were also some trees in the area that were broken around it. And at first they were like, this is just garbage. And then they decided to take a U-turn and take a closer look.
This is super crushed.
Yeah.
It's almost
Yeah.
like if you had like a Coke can and
And
you
like
crushed
crushed it with
Yeah.
your hand. Yeah.
It
But
looks
this is
like
a
it's
massive
leaning
barrel.
over the side of the road, like puking.
Yeah, I
kind
know
of.
it does.
So they get out of the car and they see tracks that were unlike anything they had ever seen before. It had an oval palm, a prominent heel, and 3 claw-like toes protruding. And it was 14 inches in length and 7 inches across with a stride of about 3 feet in length. So
Big.
the men were shook. Like they... And this is like nighttime. So these men were scared. And then they were like,
Yeah.
let's try and rule it a prank. So the ground was like kind of wet, but mostly dry. So they were trying to like make footprints to see if they would be able to make footprints around. And they weren't really able to. And they were like, I don't know who would have been able to kind of make these footprints. It would have been something large and heavy, possibly there a little bit earlier.
Mhm.
So the deputies decided to reluctantly follow the footsteps about 300 yards into the dark woods before the tracks got lost in the bush. And at this point, they decided they were going to return in the light of day with backup. So the men got Truesdale on the case and he arrived early in the morning, like 6 a.m, first thing, first daylight. And he had the men block off the road. And he noted that the break in the trees were about 8 feet high. So it seemed really weird. Like it's as if something like walked through them, but the break was so high that it just like didn't make sense. So he decided that they couldn't find any other human footprints around either, other than like what the guys had kind of already done, but it was very light in the dark.
Like destroying evidence,
Yeah,
whatever.
you know.
Yeah.
So he knew that rain was coming and he wanted to cast the
Plaster of
footprints.
Paris.
So yes, he plastered it to get them in the best
Oh.
shape. So the next photo is a plaster of it. It's weird. I don't really know how to describe
I have
it.
a co-
It looks like 3 sausages.
Okay,
looks
now the
not
drawing's
real.
making more sense.
Yeah. This looks not as real.
Yes, It doesn't.
No.
And there's no real like prints, like how like we have like
I don't see
little
Nike or
lines and like
anything here,
prom
so it's
pins
good.
and all that.
Adidas.
Yeah. So anyways, he took it and then he was kind of like, "Oh, I'm going to show this, I'll bring it to the department again and have them look at it and see if they can compare it." And people were like, "There's nothing that looks like that. Like you don't even have to bring it anywhere. They're not going to know
Right.
what
It
this
looks
is."
like
We don't
it
wanna
looks
see
like
that.
the toes are like above the ground. Like it looks like it's supposed to be like an impression,
It looks
right?
Okay.
not
Yeah.
it looks not natural
No.
because it
That's
just
why
does
they're
not.
wondering if it's like claws or something,
Oh,
like not
maybe, or
actually
maybe that's like the
toes.
space in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
And
there's a space in between, like maybe they're kind of up and those are the
oh, it's
claws
like a
that are
webbed
like
foot and it pushed like
I
the
don't know.
middle
It's
parts
it's
up.
hard
Yeah.
to say what that is, but anyways, that's now in a
Hmm.
cotton museum storage. There's a cotton museum there. Yeah. So it's
Why
in,
does the Cotton Museum have this print?
we get into the cotton.
And why do you
Okay.
need a whole museum?
Because
For
this
cotton?
area is
Cotton's
very
kind of
well known
interesting.
for cotton, actually. It used to be a huge area.
Oh.
Yeah. So Truesdale was starting to get worried, not just because something or someone was terrorizing their town, but now there were floods of people in the area, and he was beginning to worry for the general safety of everyone. There were snakes, there were bears, there were sinkholes, there's a plethora of other dangers in the woods, and he
Sinkholes?
felt like he had to get a hold of this before someone really got hurt, if not by Lizard Man, but by their own stupidity.
A person with a gun.
So things were still crazy in town, but they were getting fewer legitimate sighting callings, and a couple of calls that they had no real evidence or credibility came in, but that was about it. Truesdale did say that they were getting a shit ton of calls from media outlets from all over, and he was like, they're calling at like 6 a.m. And he was like, I understand that they deserve to know what's going on, but like, it's 6 a.m. Like, the man was
That's
still so
early.
nice about it, and he's like, but
Yeah.
could you
My
just
phone's
call a
on
little
silent
later?
at that hour.
Yeah.
Like I'm already going like I'm awake. I'm well awake at 6. But
Yeah.
like I'm not online for someone to contact me. If I
No.
text you, I know everyone's asleep, but like fucking
Yes.
calling, like no.
So August 13th rolls around and George Holloman came forward, and he was a construction worker in Brownstown, and he said that about 10 months prior, he was in Scape Bridge and saw something that chilled him to the bone. He said it was like midnight in October. It was kind of a warm, an unseasonably warm night, so he went out biking and he had
Sounds
stopped
awesome.
for a drink at this natural spring
Oh.
water area.
Oh my
Love.
god, he's having the best night.
Yeah, best night.
Yeah.
While there, he decided to have a cigarette and just sit and kind of like enjoy the bridge. And he looked across the
Contemplate
way
life.
and he saw what he thought at first was a broken tree stump until it stood up and stood about 7 to 8 feet tall.
No.
Holloman
Huh?
said he was stunned and dropped his cigarette in shock. He said the hair stood up straight on my head and all my muscles got tight on my arms. Holloman said he could see the thing eyeing him. Just then a car drove by and the lights lit up the creature's eyes, causing them to appear like they were glowing red, and the creature seemingly got startled by the car and disappeared into the swamp. So naturally, Holloman booked it out of there in the opposite direction, and it took him 2 weeks before he got up the nerve to tell anyone because he was afraid of what they might think. And he told his family finally, and his brother accused him of being a drunk, and his mother suggested it might be a haint, which is a type of ghost, so not exactly comforting either. And he was
So
like,
either
I was not
you're
So
drinking.
I
an
understand
alcoholic or
why
it's a ghost.
he doesn't want to tell his family.
Yeah, exactly. Or anybody else. He was like, finally, I tell somebody, and all they do is make fun of me and call me a drunk. So he pretty much kept it to himself. He didn't really want the media attention even after he came forward. He seldom did
Well,
interviews.
because he saw
Is he not
what
an
would happen.
artist?
Oh,
No.
sorry, no, you said 10 months before.
10
You
months
said this-
before. No, so he came
wha-
forward in August, but he had seen it 10 months
Oh.
prior.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yes.
But
Months,
yeah,
yes.
when he did do any amount of interviews, his story never wavered from his account. So soon after that, another local came forward. His name was George Plyer, 2 Georges back to back, who also had an encounter that he barely told anyone about. He stated his encounter happened around the spring of 1986, and when he was working with some other people in Scape Swamp. That's hard to say.
It sounds like you're saying skateboard, and that's how I'm going to take
Skateboard
it.
swamp. Yeah.
Skateboard bridge.
So,
skateboard swamp.
Funny, I didn't put this in here, but some people, there is a name for reptiles, like a general name for reptiles called like Skilapore, and they said maybe the swamp was named after that. But then the naming of the swamp actually happened before
Oh, lizard man sighting.
no. The naming of the swamp actually happened before Skilapore was even like an actual thing.
Oh,
So
so
they
it
were
can't
like,
be.
it can't be that. That doesn't work. But that's what some people like to say. Anyways, just funny little fact there. Okay, so they're
That's
in
hilarious.
Scape or swamp, building a hog pen, and the man was chest deep in quicksand because this area is
Which-
full of quicksand. Okay,
Which we
Oh my
knew
God.
existed in the world because
Right.
Yeah,
we were
we've
trained
been
for this.
traumatized.
so
from an
he was
early
working
age.
on this pen when he said he feels something staring into the back of his head, and he turned around and sees this strange large figure in the woods peering at them. And he described it just like the rest did. He said he didn't tell any of the other men, though, because he didn't want them to freak out and they had to finish the job. But he was pretty
I
scared.
gotta get paid.
Yeah.
I would be so upset if you didn't tell me about the giant lizard man behind
right?
me.
Behind
Even
you.
like after. So he said that after what he's seen, he doesn't like to go near that swamp anymore.
Totally.
And he
Yep.
also only told a couple of close people. He shied away from any media. Now, both of these last men actually were in an Australian documentary. It's called like Animal X or something like that. I forget. I didn't
Oh.
write it down. But both of them actually were interviewed in that. But they like seldom gave any interviews because they were just like, it happened. I'm scared. I don't want to go
Move
there.
on.
I don't really want to talk about
Mhm.
it. So now this town is infiltrated with people. There are bumper to bumper cars down the street where Chris had seen the creature. Curious sightseers filled Browntown Road from all over trying to get a glimpse of the swamp creature. T-shirts started to be created. One woman came all the way from Germany to sell T-shirts. Chris was reportedly at a mall signing T-shirts. Things were crazy. Apparently, something like
I love this.
50,000 people came to the town that summer looking for the
wow.
lizard man. People were
I
making
would totally
displays.
go.
They had inflatable lizards. They were writing songs. Stores were dressing up their
Imagine if
mannequins
you
like
Lizard
it. A
fest.
tire company.
Imagine if you did lie about it though, and this happened, and you're like,
I know, like just the lies getting away from you. A tire store even said, "Come here to see the foot mold." Like they had the foot mold with them, so this tire store just had it for a little while. Like it was crazy.
That makes kind of more sense than a
we
cotton
got
museum.
trapped.
Okay, but
Both
since there's normally a cotton parade every year with a cotton king, they
They were dying for something interesting.
this year they made it a lizard man parade with a giant lizard
Yeah.
man at the focal point.
I'd rather go to that than a cotton
This
parade.
cotton museum,
but they were making cotton T-shirts.
yes.
with
Oh,
lizard.
yeah.
Everyone
Fair,
wins.
fair.
Everybody wins.
The town's all making it. There's
Yeah.
like even in this cotton museum, they have like one of the old like heads that was worn on the lizard king that year.
It was like the cotton,
The cotton lizard
mascot.
king. So
Oh.
they where was I? So people thought that it was attracted to chrome, so they were making outfits out of chrome. There was like all these rumors going around of why they were attacking cars. He was like, he must be attracted to chrome for some reason. So people were wearing chrome outfits, but they were also covering chrome parts on their car with tape to save their cars. They were like, well, I'm going to cover up this
Okay.
part of this is what he wants.
Now
Like,
me,
shit got weird.
I'm disposable, but not my car.
Right.
And Chris was still at the
Just
center
commit
of
to
it.
the full car costume.
Yeah, there you go. Oh,
Be a
that's
car.
smart. Transformers.
Yeah.
And I have this fish fillet. What the hell?
So Chris was still very much at the center of it, and even though he was making money off of signing shirts, he kind of said later that he just wanted to be able to go to work and play basketball without being hassled. Like he was actually really upset at all this attention.
How old was Chris?
He was
Like
15
early
or
20s?
16. No, he's young.
Oh my-
He's at
so
17
young.
or 17. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a child.
Sorry, you
Child.
may have said that right at the beginning. So he's
I can't
working a
remember if I
part-time
did.
job, going to school,
Yeah.
and now this is his whole life.
Yeah.
Well, that's a sin.
So after this, though, like after this whole parade and everything, things in the media did kind of die down. This one guy, his last name was Orr. Okay, so he goes to Truesdale in late August, and he's like, "I killed the lizard man," and he brings in this like scaly skin, and Truesdale's like, "I
Mhm.
know fish when I see fish." Like that, you clearly found a big
This
fish.
will trick them.
And so they fined him for a false report and also for having
Good.
an open firearm in the front seat. And he did say that he did it because he wanted to try and keep it alive. Like, I guess he wanted to make sure the town was still going to kind of be making money off of it and everything.
honey.
Mhm.
But-
he needs therapy.
Yeah. So after this, there were still more sightings. Like there was sightings that kind of happened right up until the 90s. There were more that happened. I think it was like in 2007 or 2008 or something as well. But some of these sightings were actually, there was ones in a town nearby, and those people depicted it as having a tail. Now, even though the drawings and the T-shirts, not Chris's drawing, but some of the other drawings that you've seen,
Clearly.
they show it as having a tail. No one actually depicted it as having a tail. In fact, that Blythe guy, he specifically said what was strange about it was that it what looked lizard-like but didn't have a tail. So it was kind of
Hmm.
weird that some other people were saying now in this other town over that they're seeing one with a tail. So kind of inconsistent. But that town over is also a little bit fucked up because apparently near the swamp, a lot of animals in the area were getting killed in strange ways that they couldn't quite define. And a woman was even beheaded there, and there were like no leads.
Oh my God.
What?
Yeah. So like this other town's just already messed up in its own way. So Truesdale's kind of like, "Ugh, I'm just going to leave that alone. That's
Like,
that's not
okay.
happening." Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, they had a tail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, so no one had actually gone on record. So even though they had come with stories, no one had gone on record until 1990 again. So after Plyer did with his
Okay.
previous ones. So, but when the two cases that were seen again, they actually sounded more like they were describing Bigfoot, which was kind of interesting. So once
Very
again, in
different.
this Scape or swamp area, but what they're seeing is a giant, hairy, ape-like creature with like ears. And so they're kind of like, okay, like what the fuck is going on here? Like, do we just have everything? Like, what's happening? Obviously, there was also a lot of naysayers, people who said that Chris must have been in a car accident. He was trying to cover it up. The rest was just mob hysteria that was happening, that Chris would change his story slightly each time. Things didn't add up. The way that Chris did a pass, but Chris did pass a polygraph, which I know doesn't always mean anything, but he
Really?
did take a
No.
polygraph and he passed it. So
Yeah.
somebody also said something about how like McDonald's in a rural area like that on a Tuesday night wouldn't have been open that late, and I was kind of like, well, they have a
You don't know.
cleanup afterwards as well. Like even if they
Right.
close
That's
at
not the
midnight, there's a
fact that I'm most
cleanup.
concerned about.
Yeah,
What if the ice cream machine was in its cleaning mode and somebody had to stay
Right?
to make sure it was going through? So
yeah. I did read one theory on Reddit where one guy was wondering that if this attack on him was racial though, that maybe it was a person, because we are talking about a South in the
Oh.
80s. And
Oh, Chris is a black man,
Well,
by
we
the
saw
way.
his picture.
If
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
not
Yeah. If
watching
you're not
this.
watching.
so they do wonder if it was a racially motivated attack, and
And someone was like in costume
something
trying to scare
actually did
him.
happen, and that maybe he wasn't quite sure, and maybe he had heard about these lizard man things before, and so he chalked it up to being that.
But like the
I'm getting-
speed and then the
Yeah,
fact
but
that
I mean, when
it's
you're
like
scared and
claws,
things are happening, you can
He might
think-
remember it differently.
Exactly.
And he's also, I'm getting, Scooby-Doo vibes from this.
Yeah, a little bit.
But
yeah, I mean, based on the drawing, it's very nondescript.
Yeah.
Like
So there was.
I mean, it's just like an open blank space essentially.
And like he could have potentially heard about this, because even though he's considered like the first sighting, obviously those other guys said that happened in like 87. And also there's been stories since the natives were there of like lizard man like things. So
Oh.
Huh. So it was
So
probably
it's
commonly
interesting.
it
heard
is
of.
something that is kind of in the area. Also, another reason why people try to say that Chris's story isn't true is because a butterbean farmer, his name was like Elmores or something like that, he was in the area
Butterbean?
around that time, and the story was so conflicting. So he was like, yeah, this guy was working for me and he was supposed to be watching because we had this shed full of air conditioners and we were worried about somebody trying to steal the air conditioner. And I had seen somebody there that night and I chased him off, and I was wearing like this big sheet thing and like this like brown sheet or whatever. And like I was chasing someone off and someone did speed away. But they were like, well, first of all, Chris literally did change a tire, so there's no way. And the guy was like, well, we found an air conditioner somewhere in the field, so I did scare somebody off. And they were like, okay, so are you trying to say that Chris was stealing it? Like he actually did change a tire, so there's no way that he was trying to steal an air
Yeah.
conditioner and steal it. Like, anyways, it just, and then
I have
and
so many
then
questions. Why is there a
later-
shed full of air conditioners on a farm?
and then later the
Are
Yeah.
they organic? Like
Well, and then
what-
later
what's
the
happening?
farmer was like, actually, no one was there that night. Like this couldn't have happened. Like, so I'm just like, the story changed. And it just seemed really inconsistent, and like it was just
Stop wasting
weird.
our
Thanks for
time.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the swamp is also known to be fairly haunted in other ways. There are series of
Great.
some sort of chained ghost dog. And there's this weird haunted axe, because there was this woman who had this guy working for her, and she was like, I'm going to pay you to go like chop up all this stuff for me. And he was like, ugh, this is too much work. I'm just going to kill you instead. murders her
my
with the
God.
axe, burns down the
Rude.
house. Okay,
Rude.
the axe survives because
That's
it's
more
made of like
work.
ore or something. I don't know. It didn't burn.
But
And
the
then
axe
it
survived.
did. They find the man later. They're like, "You killed this woman." He's like, "I've never seen that woman." And they were like, "You have blood on you, and here's the axe."
Dude.
And then so
And you're holding the axe.
so then they put him in jail. They buried the woman, and apparently they put the axe on the grave. And this is like true. No,
That's-
like Truesdale is like, yes, this axe was there.
But why? She's like,
Apparently-
oh, you killed me, axe.
Apparently
Great.
the axe would like spin. Because I guess the axe like helps find her killer. Apparently the axe would
Wait,
spin
Kate,
at
tell,
midnight on
wait.
Halloween.
Wait, hold on. What? This is a whole different story.
know,
You're
yeah.
telling two stories
So many
now.
things that happen
Yeah.
in this swamp. So this axe would like spin on Halloween. It's been stolen a bunch of times. Truesdale went to like the grandson and was like,
my-
"Hey, we should probably like mount this on her grave or something." He's like, "Yeah, sure,
They
mount
just
it."
left it there and thought no one was going to touch it.
I guess so. They were like, "We should mount this," and the son was like, or he's like, "Or we should put this in like custody, police custody." And he was like, "Yeah,
Some
sure."
murder
Just like
weapon.
put
it's
it
only
in-
a murder
put it in
weapon.
police custody. And so they did that. And then after Truesdale retired, they never found the axe again. Like the axe went missing and it just was never found again.
I mean, I'm not
Maybe the
surprised it went
axe is
missing
on the
'cause they
road
just-
dishing out justice.
They're like, we're
Well,
just going to put it out here.
They did say that if it got
and-
stolen, that you would get sick. And so they would sometimes, they found the axe one time in a trash bin because they were like, well, maybe the person got sick. And so they got rid of the axe because like it actually, like the stuff came true. Anyways, so there's
I
just
don't even know where
bunch
to
of-
start with
There's a
that.
bunch of shit going on here. Okay.
Okay.
So the frenzy died down. It did resurface again in June of 2009. And this was because Chris Davis was murdered by gun violence
What?
at
Oh,
37.
that's really sad.
Oh my god.
And sadly, when this did happen, a lot of the like newspapers didn't even really use his name. It would be like lizard man or
Lizard
like
ma-
person, you know, that
oh my god.
first,
He's not the
first
lizard
finder
man.
Of, first finder
You
of
just-
lizard man or like lizard man seer or like it was really like centered around that and his photo and like not
Mhm.
the actual like murder that occurred.
Oh
So that
my
was really
God.
sad.
That is sad. I mean, I don't completely like. I get why they were like, "Hey, this is how you know him."
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to sell
But it's like-
newspapers.
I know.
But-
It's just it was really sad that that kind of took over and then it kind of like went into a frenzy again about like, oh, now
can't
the
believe
Probably
Reaper
just trying to
got
get away from
murdered.
this.
That's
Like,
horrible.
it was
but
like a-
your whole life is based off this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like a 19-year-old that killed him. Like I didn't
my
Yeah, it was
God.
sad. Later in 2017, there was also this tongue-in-cheek post about the lizard man and Bigfoot as South Carolina prepared for an eclipse, and they actually put up a map of all the sightings of Bigfoot
Ooh.
and the lizard man.
Did I wait, hold on. Did I know that
Okay.
Bigfoot is big down there? I thought that Bigfoot was in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, I didn't know either until I started doing this.
Or
so.
maybe there's not one Bigfoot
Maybe
and
there's
Bigfoot is a
actually big
species
feet.
and they're all over.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe the lizard man is Bigfoot and he has big feet, and that's why Chris
Mm.
couldn't draw the feet.
Yes, and maybe he had just gone through a whole Brazilian and that's why he looked scaly
Yeah,
because his skin
exactly.
was
He
dry.
just-
Normally
There
it's
you
covered in
go.
hair.
Yeah.
I think we
Makes
just
sense.
solved
I think
it.
so. I think we just solved lizard man and Bigfoot. Oh, this makes
Oh
perfect
my
sense.
god. This is
Um,
the second big case we've solved.
yes, I know. We're doing so well on this.
Just knocking them out.
So people who are avid cryptid lovers still flock to the area to hunt for lizard man themselves. So the legend's not completely dead, but whatever was actually seen we'll probably never really know. And just for funsies, I put in a couple of photos of the different shirts that they were selling around the time so you guys can
Okay,
kind of see what they were
let's-
doing.
I want that shirt.
Okay. I love this. It is very 80s.
They are.
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's the prize. $1 million prize. South
Love it.
Carolina. This is amazing. Okay. I love this one.
I ain't
Want
afraid
it?
of no lizard man.
Oh wait. Oh my god.
Okay, so everyone has similar drawing capabilities in this town.
The one
Um,
with the mullet and he's like, eh.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, wait, what's the other one?
All right,
Oh,
let's see.
That looks
Oh, that
more
one's
like
good.
Godzilla.
This is a good
The-
drawing, though.
It's
All right, this actually
Ooh.
does resemble an episode from Scooby Doo.
which
Yes, it
one?
does.
The last one?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
the last one.
It almost looks like oh my god, what is
The
it?
Yeah. The lagoon
Yes,
with the
yeah.
little gills
So
by
that
its
was another
face.
thing that
Mhm.
kind of like really compared it to was like the creature of the Black Lagoon and all of
Yeah.
that as well. So yeah, that's my lizard man of Scape or Swamp. There was a whole bunch of more things that they said were potentially leads in the book, but like I was like, we're gonna be here all night if I tell you all of them. So I wanted to just kind of do the ones that happened around Chris's time.
This was cool.
This was
Yeah.
very interesting. I'm so upset about Chris.
I
That's
know.
horrendous.
I
I thought
know.
you were going to give me
Sad,
like a good
yeah.
update.
No.
Request to cover the axe that spins and now is missing. What the fuck?
When
Yeah, I
I was
wanna
reading more of
know.
the stuff, I'm like, what is going on in this town?
I just don't understand why they leave an axe just open.
And like it
on a
was,
grave.
Yeah.
it was true. Like Truesdale's like, hey, grandson of person who died in 1936, should we put this into police custody? You want to mount it? What do you feel
Yes.
like doing? Like
I know that it's a murder weapon and it's like
Right.
crucial to this murder, but like I mean we know who did it, so
I
do you
mean,
want
yeah.
the axe or what the hell?
well, I mean, I
And it
guess after they
spins-
do solve a murder, they do release things back
They
to
do
the
release.
family.
Yeah.
I guess so, but it was haunted or bewitched or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to know more about that.
Yeah.
So that's your next
And
case.
the chain dog thing.
And the chain dog.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, where did we get these t-shirts?
Yeah. That would actually be amazing.
Link, please.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna drop some links.
If I can find
I
some.
will. Yeah, we're all gonna search individually. We're all gonna find Lizard Man of Lee County, South Carolina
Mhm.
We
t-shirts.
can always make our own too.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
With our faces
And
on
if
it.
you are from South Carolina, do you know about this? Do you have a t-shirt?
Oh my God. If you have a t-shirt, send us
Yes,
a picture.
please send us a
photo.
picture.
Mhm.
A photo of
Yes.
it, please. Okay, well that was fucking bizarre.
It was
Yeah.
so fun to read that book.
Thank you.
Do
Thank you.
you think there's a lizard man, Chantal?
Listen, I think that whatever happened to Chris actually happened because, you know, he
Mhm.
had no reason to come forward after, like,
Right.
just
It's only
because
made his
somebody
life
else,
harder.
it's only because somebody else kind of did that they were like, okay, maybe it's safe for us to come forward and say
Yeah.
that something happened.
Yeah,
There was
he
no
even the first
reason
one,
for
you're
him to
right.
keep this lie going. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
his dad was kind of already like, okay, that's cool, whatever. We'll just keep this to ourselves. Like we'll fix the car. So I definitely think that something happened to him. I think this
Mhm.
area definitely has some paranormal shit going on. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is some sort of, and it's been happening since like the native time has talked about creatures that were coming out of the swamp and they were lizard like and I think they were called like pointy tails or something like that at one point. Like
So they
it's-
had tails.
some of them had
Okay.
tails. Yeah. But some lizards lose their
Interesting.
tails, you know, when they're stressed.
And they can
And they can
grow
regrow
back.
them.
So
Mhm.
yeah.
I'm flabbergasted.
I've had so many tails right now if I were a lizard.
Yeah. I have been scared a lot in my life.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I
Well-
don't know where to go from here because
I
I
know.
am upset and also I can't stop thinking about the spinning axe.
I know.
I know. That's what I've been thinking about too. So
I had to
mean,
stop
this is a
myself.
good-
And you're like,
It's a
and
good
this
Halloween
woman, and then
story.
she was beheaded, but like it's fine, I guess. I'm like, what? Oh
There's
my
this other
god.
swamp over here. There's beheaded people. There's weird animals dying in weird
Okay.
ways. So
So just stay out of the swamp
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
support
And
your local
quicksand,
t-shirt
because
maker.
there's
and
quicksand in that
quicksand.
swamp.
That's
Jesus
right.
Christ. Okay. Well, hey, that's a little shorty. Thank
Yeah.
you for that.
No problem.
Thank you, Chantal.
All good. It was actually really fun
And-
to research. So
Oh, this sounds like I'm aside
Yes.
from what happened to poor Chris, everything up to that is
Yeah.
just people will have any excuse to have a fun event. So
Mhm.
like Lizard Fest. I mean, they went from cotton to
how
Lizard Man.
crazy they
Upgrade.
went. How crazy they went in the town. I wish that I'd been there. Like
Yeah.
God. I would
Lizard
rather that than
mania.
the current state of the world. Like, why can't
Right.
there okay, have you
I
heard
want
about
lizard man
the
sightings in the news. Not
Yeah, we
have
need
you
to
heard
go
about
back.
the crow in Vancouver that has that carries the knife around?
no.
What?
Exactly. Okay. There's a crow.
Is that why they call it a murder of crows?
Mm.
Well,
And there's a
if he
bunch
has
of
his
them.
way, I forget his name. His name could be Stanley, but there's a crow in Vancouver that carries a knife,
Oh.
and there's like photos. I'm like, why can't we have an animal that does something cool, and then we have a parade about that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Stimulates the economy.
Probably
Like
because
the little IKEA monkey back in the.
Oh my god,
Oh,
wearing the
the
coat.
coat?
yes.
Yeah.
That happened in Toronto, you guys. The little
Yeah.
monkey wearing the coat. That
See?
was in a
We had our
IKEA
moment.
Toronto.
Okay,
We were
let's
in
bring
Toronto at the
Lizard
time.
Man back. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen.
Hashtag I stand with Lizard Man.
Here we go.
Yeah.
In Browntown,
rhymes.
we're gonna go down to Browntown. We're gonna go down to Browntown Road and
See,
See
stand
a
with
lizard
Lizard
man.
Man.
put that on a t-shirt, and then the Lizard Man's like giving you a little wink.
Yeah.
You're like, he knows what
with
he's
like
doing.
his back turned to us. He's like,
Oh God. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Let's keep this T-shirt PG. Okay. We have to
We
sell
have
to
to
the
sell it
masses.
to lots. Yes.
We're gonna go down to youth to double XL.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Triple XL.
Triple
Even
XL.
onesies.
Triple XL.
Onesies,
Can we get onesies
yes.
too?
With a little tail. Or maybe not. I don't know.
Wait.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay.
We have to
Detachable
go.
tail.
A detachable tail.
All right.
That's how you poop.
And
You can detach the tail so
There
you
you
can go to
go.
the
Yeah, just,
bathroom.
there you
we always find a way to just devolve into craziness. Okay, you and your lizard man join us next week for whatever crazy episode we're gonna have.
Okay.
Who freaking knows?
Who
these
knows?
days?
I don't know who's going.
Yes, who
Anyways.
knows?
Okay.
It's
One of
me.
us.
I love you.
Bye. Bye,
Bye.
Browntown Lizard Man.
Bye. Thank you for listening today. We loved having you. If you liked the episode, share with your friends, family, or anyone who would enjoy it. Also, take a moment to review our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. Leaving us a like or comment really helps. If you'd like to buy us a coffee, please visit our coffee page at www.ko-fi.com/coastfiles. Email us at coastfilespod@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at coastfilespod, or visit our website at www.coastfiles.com. You can find the sources for today's episode on our website. See you next week with a new episode.